You're watching Qnews. Here are the top stories for the hour. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has stressed that no one can threaten Egypt, highlighting the country's role as an oasis of security and peace in the region. Speaking at the 73rd anniversary of the Police Day, President Sisi stressed that Egypt does not conspire against anyone and has overcome many challenges through its own efforts. President Sisi honored the sacrifices of Egyptian police officers, emphasizing values of honor, respect and dignity. He also highlighted Egypt's role in the Gaza ceasefire, reaffirming the nation's commitment to peace. Police Day, celebrated on January 25th, commemorates the 1952 battle in Ismailia. The Israeli forces, occupation forces, have continued their aggression on the city of Jenin and its camp for the second day in a row. Palestinian Red Crescent reported that 4 Palestinians were injured by Israeli forces' live ammunition during their ongoing onslaught on the city of Jenin and its refugee camp. Palestinian media reported that the Israeli occupation forces forced a number of local citizens in neighborhoods inside Jenin camp to evacuate their homes to Wadi Burqin. The occupation opened one passage and forced residents to take it. Israeli occupation forces have detained at least 25 Palestinians from the West Bank since yesterday evening. Additionally, Israeli forces briefly detained nearly 30 Palestinian workers who were constructing a road in the Khirbet Adir area. Palestinian media reported that the Israeli occupation forces have continued to tighten the military measures at most of the entrances and exits of the governorates in the West Bank for the third day in a row. They closed the entrances to the village of Nabi Ilyas and Kafr Laqif with an iron gate and prevented civilians from moving. 898 Israeli checkpoints and iron gates have been installed by the occupation army in the West Bank. Out of the 898 military barriers and iron gates, 18 iron gates were installed by the occupation since the beginning of 2025. For the third consecutive day, the occupation forces tightened the military measures at most of the entrances and exits of the governorates in the West Bank. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has warned against Israel's potential annexation of the West Bank. Speaking at the World Economic Forum's annual meeting in Switzerland, Guterres stated that there is no guarantee that this ceasefire agreement will hold and underscored the importance of achieving a permanent ceasefire in Gaza and a two-state solution. Moving on to the United States, and U.S. President Donald Trump has said he will issue an executive order to increase the availability of water in California following disastrous wildfires that recently tore through several Los Angeles neighborhoods. Trump also said he was open to billionaire Elon Musk buying social media app TikTok if the Tesla CEO wanted to do so. The short video app used by 170 million Americans was taken offline temporarily for users shortly before a law that said it must be sold by its Chinese owner ByteDance on national security grounds or be banned took effect on Sunday. Several Democratic attorney generals filed a lawsuit have challenged the executive order by U.S. President Donald Trump seeking to roll back birthright citizenship in the U.S. The lawsuit was filed in the federal court in Massachusetts. The Attorney General represented 18 states, the District of Columbia, and the City and County of San Francisco. Immigrants and civil rights groups have filed suits against Trump in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. Any ruling from those districts' court judges would be reviewed by the Boston-based First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, whose 5 active federal judges are all appointees of Democratic presidents and a rarity nationality. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas has said Russia is posing an existential threat to the European Union's security, and the only way to address that is to increase spending on defence. Kallas added that the EU had for too long offered Russia alternatives. Kallas, one of the EU's most vocal opponents to Russian President Vladimir Putin, also acknowledged US President Donald Trump was right in saying that the EU members don't spend enough on defence. Trump said earlier this month NATO members should spend 5% of gross domestic product on defence, a huge increase from the current 2% goal and a level that no NATO country, including the United States, currently reaches. This concludes our top stories for this hour. Many thanks for watching and stay tuned for more updates on Qnews.